Benefit one is the cost income analysis and farm management software. We have two types of crop. The crop where yield and price has an impact on the income, and the one where yield and quality of the product has an impact. Let us start with the first one. We have the choice between fast calculi and detailed calculi regarding the costs. First, basic parameters. We shall decide about the currency, euro, dollar, real, decide about the area, in hectare, acre, in mu, various yield unit, ton, kilo, bags, bushel. We shall give a name for the different product that we are producing, the prices for each one if we have more than one, minimum yield for the main one, and the step, and minimum price and the step. Let us enter to the database for various crop and see how it's working. So we start with the first example, yield price. And let us start with a very simple crop like wheat. An example of wheat in United States from USDA. Here we have dollar, acre, and bushel for the yield. The price will move from 6 to 7 with a step of 0.25, and the yield in bushel will move from 30 to 67.5 with a step of 2.5, 30, 32.5, 35, and so on. We may change the number, by the way, but let us continue here. Okay, in here, for instance, I shall test a matrix with the 40. We shall start with the 40, so everything will change, but let us return to the 30. Well, now we may have the possibility to verify the revenue of the crop for various yield and prices. Here we see, for instance, that for 30 bushel and the $6 the ton, the revenue will be 180, or 6.25, it will be 188. So I have here a table with a different revenue depending on yield and prices per ton, per bushel here. Regarding the costs, I have here a rapid view on the different costs. For instance, here, not irrigated, the fertilizer costs, the plant protection costs, seeds. Here I have detailed of phyto, seeds, tractor, fuel, contractor, labor, the day of the manager, and also depreciation, financing, general cost, and the harvest. Here it's a mechanical harvest, so the cost should be the cost per acre of harvest. Once I have entered the different costs that I can change and store, I can do the calculi now of the gross margin. Oh, we see here now that when the yield is low, around the 30, and the price is low, we have a very low gross margin or not gaining at all. And inversely, with a high yield and a high price, we shall have a higher income revenue. Net margin before the tax, we see that it's negative for a half of the matrix. And regarding the yield, with the 50 bushel per acre, we have here the different costs. Plant protection, fertilizers, no water, tractor, and so on. And here I see that the fixed costs and the maintenance and so on. And the last one, not the last, but the harvest will be one of the main costs. So we have the choice between revenue matrix, gross margin, margin before labor, margin before tax, and so on. Let us take another example. Let us look, for instance, on tomato. Yeah. Tomato, for instance, in dollar per hectare and ton. So the yield will be between 60 to 97.5 with a step of 2.5 ton. And the price should vary from 500 to 700 with a step of 50. I can change all this number and change the matrix. But let us say that this is the one that I decide. And now I shall have the possibility to have a view on the revenue. Revenue is the income. Now I have detail of the costs, various costs. Fertilizer, phyto, seeds, I have here water also, pesticides, depreciation, financing, and regarding the harvest, which is manual, we shall have the cost per ton of harvest manually, transport, treatment, and so on. So I have basically all the costs here by category. So I shall have now the possibility to do the calculation of the gross margin. Gross margin. Oh, I see here that when the yield is lower than 70 and the price is lower than 600 per ton, we're losing money. We have a gross margin which is negative. And the break-even is around the 70 ton. Net margin before tax is worse. Only after 70 or 80 ton is being correct. I can have the calculation of margin per working day of the manager, per water, per cubic water, and the graphic. If, for instance, the yield is 70 ton, I have here how the costs are split. For instance, pesticide close to $5,000. Water is relatively high. Tractor, tillage, the blue line is the labor, because we have a lot of labor during the season. And the rose one is a harvest, because it's manual harvest. So this is also one of the high costs that we shall have. Let us continue now. Let us have an example of detailed data. Let us enter, for instance, the potato. Now we have not only the basic parameter that we have decided about the currency, the unit, the product, the price, the steps, also the different costs of water, fertilizer, plant protection, and so on. But these are coming from the details that we shall see soon. Here, for instance, regarding the plant protection, I have detailed about each product, the cost, the amount of treatment, the herbicide, the fungicide, fertilizer, the amount, the tractor, the tillage, the contractor, the seeds, the seedling. So I have all the costs here, and this will help me to create a fast and rapid file like the previous one that we have seen before. Let us see an example one. Potato now, like we have seen, per tenth of hectare, the yield, the prices, the costs, and this will allow me to do the calculation of the revenue, once again, the gross margin, the net margin before tax, and a graphic presentation for a yield of 5 tons per dunam. It means 50 tons per hectare. We have here the different costs, and we can see here the plant protection, fertilizers, and the high one, which are in the harvests. We have example here also where we have 3 different type of product that we are producing in a model of yield quality. So let us enter example of yield quality. And first with the rapid one, with the fast calculi. Let us see example of, for instance, melon. Yeah. Now what we can see, dollar hectare per 10 ton. We have melon for export, the market, and local and low price, and the total is 100%. And we can change the percentage for each one of them that will generate different prices, the combined prices. And now, if I have a look also on the cost, this will help me to have the matrix of the revenue, matrix of the gross margin, and for instance, the histogram for 4 tons. In 4 tons, I have a very high cost of plant protection, but this is what I have in this example. Now I can, by the way, capture this example that will help me in the future to present a wool farm. So I shall capture different crop, and let us have a look on the farm, how it will look, the project. Farm turnover. Yeah. Let us take an example. This is an example. Now we have carrot, cotton, pepper, potato in the year of 2030. I shall capture the different example with the cost, with the yield, and this will do the calculation of the margin, the income, and so on for the whole farm, not for one single crop. Now I have the calculation of the revenue, the total cost, the net margin for the various crop, and by this way I have the whole farm management, but I have also, by the way, analyzed investment and to do the calculation how many years I shall need to cover the cost of the investment and the rentability of this investment. The software has been developed by LRR GAD from LGAD Agro System. Thank you very much.